Right guys, so when you first spawn in at the warp point, which is basically this area here, run out this door and you'll see this is a warp zone. If it's covered in basically a blue field, this is basically your home base. Cannot be capped by the enemy, otherwise you wouldn't be able to basically spawn in. As you first spawn, you'll notice like gun icons for guns. Tank icon is basically for any vehicles that you'd want to spawn in. Just make sure when you spawn a vehicle that there is no enemies over on the pad over here, as spawning in may accidentally team kill them, as when you first spawn the vehicle in, you don't have any control of where it drives. It just drives straight out to avoid the area getting clustered with vehicles. First vehicle we're going to spawn in is the Flash. This is basically a quad bike in the game. Very, very useful for getting to places really quickly on your own, or in large groups indeed. Mainly because if you're all separate, there's less chance that you can all get taken out at once. As you can see, Mashed here and Killerfile both have bought attachments for theirs. Killerfile's got a grenade launcher, Mashed has a machine gun. These are good, I guess, if you want to chase down enemies or be riding basically behind any of the enemy vehicles, just take them out straight away. Very nimble, turn very quick. The only thing about them is they tend to slide. When you're turning or stopping and turning, they can drift around in circles uncontrollably and sort of lose control really quickly. Another thing to take note of is coming over jumps and stuff. Jumps and things can actually make you tip over, like I almost just did, and landing on your side or on your player model will actually damage you, so you can die very easily. Whoa, nice jump. There you go, I think that's enough for this. Gonna head back over and show you guys another vehicle. The next vehicle in the list is the Sunderer, which is basically a heavily armoured transport vehicle. I'll spawn one of these in now.
You just killed someone.
As you can see, I didn't know someone was on the spawn pads there. So top tip, don't spawn on the spawn pads as you may team kill. This has 2 turrets on the top and is very heavily armoured. You can swap these turrets out for things such as anti-tank turrets and anti-air turrets. First ones you come equipped with are just standard like heavy turrets. Fire heavy rounds, very useful against all around, like anti-air you can shoot down light armoured aircraft, and even heavily armoured aircraft it'll deal light damage. This is very slow and bulky, obviously being such a heavily armoured vehicle. Very, very useful in transporting a large majority of troops. As you can see, it can hold 12 players, which is the maximum any vehicle can hold. Very useful for getting straight into a base, unloading an absolutely mammoth amount of players in. Yeah, mechs units can only ride these transports as well, so if you want to take a mechs unit squad round and you don't want to take an air, like a big bulky Galaxy airship, you will want to go with one of these. Next vehicle in the list is a Lightning. This is a very light tank for any Battlefield players. It's a bit like a Lav, only it's only for one person. Very light armour, very fast, rapid fire turret basically. You get like 6 shots in it. Spawn this in now. For any of you players that are just starting, if you're wondering how to go third person, hit the T key, that'll go third person for the vehicle, allowing you to look around a bit. And you see that we're all spawning them in now. This gun fires very, very rapidly, but has a high recoil. As you can see, the quicker you fire, the higher it all basically rocks back up in the air, and it's quite hard to control and when moving. So this vehicle is very useful for taking out any enemy like transport or quad bikes. It does very light damage to tanks. A lot of the time if you see a heavy tank, it's best to try and like just run away. Deals quite a lot of damage to it. If you manage to set it on fire, maybe you take another pass. But if you take any damage at all in this tank, you want to get out of the area really quickly, as it does have very light armour. The next vehicle in the list is called a Prowler. This is basically the heavier tank for the Terran side. Spawn this in now. It has 2 barrels. Basically it fires like this, 1, 2, then reloads. The main benefit of this tank is it can take a lot of damage and also deal a lot of damage. Very, very useful all around for taking out airships. At one point in this we had like 6 of these things firing at an enemy Galaxy, which is basically like a big aircraft ship, moves really slow and bulky, and one entire barrage instantly took the thing out. 12 guys inside that thing. You can get like a ton of kills very quickly with this thing. Has 1 gunner seat up top, so very useful for infantry. Usually you rock like the engineer tank driver sort of combo. Engineer gets out of repair. Just be careful that you don't roadkill the guys, because reversing often roadkills them. So it's probably best to heal from the sides just to make sure that you don't get killed while repairing this tank. Huge benefit in this tank is the ability to deploy, which basically turns you into a stationary turret, completely boosting your ability to fire and reload a lot quicker. The recoil is severely, like, insanely reduced, so you can basically have a greater accuracy. As you can see, 2 shots, reload instant. Much quicker than the standard one, which I'll show you now. Standard rate, which is like this. Very quick. So a lot of the time, very useful if, say, you come up against an enemy tank and you're completely out in the open. Just mobilise straight away while you're firing at him. This will give you a huge advantage against the enemy tank, as long as they can't get behind cover and dodge. That's basically it for this one. It takes about 6 to 7 shots to take out like big vehicles such as like the troop transport. I think it's actually about 6 shots for other enemy tanks as well. They can take a lot of damage purely because a lot of the time you'll come up against guys in huge groups of these things. Like, I think the most we saw at one point was like 24 tanks on one server, all rushing for the same objective, absolutely destroying it. That's it for the ground vehicles in the game. Join me next time, I'll be going through the air vehicles such as the Liberator, Galaxy and Mosquito. See you guys later.